Geeta Murthy, Faculty of Information Science and Engineering, Maharaja Institute of Technology, Mysore. I will be teaching you a subject called Computer Networks and Security. Subject name is Computer Networks and Security, which is of the subject code 18 CS 52. This is the second subject of the 5th semester. As I said, computer network is nothing but a group of computers which share a common communication channel. Why do we need to have a communication channel between so many computers? Why is it necessary for us? Because for sharing the resources, for sharing any information. Now, suppose I am sending the message through WhatsApp, the friend has to receive that message, isn't it? How is going to receive? That means my computer is connected to my friend's computer. This connection helps us to exchange the messages. Before I begin, I will tell you that what is computer networks. Computer networks is nothing but a group of computers that share a common communication channel. As you could see the diagram, I have written two networks. In the network 1, 4 computers have been connected, A, B, C, D. See, as you can see, they all share a same communication channel, but this network, it is not sharing any communication channel with the E, F, G computers. That is why the whole thing cannot be a network. The only a group of computers that share a common communication channel, only that we call it a network, a computer network. Now, why do we need to study computer network? Because in the fast growing internet world, we are sharing so many messages with the other computers. Let me take the example of a Gmail. Now, if you want to send a message or an email to my friend, I am sending it through the internet, where one computer is connected to another computer through internet. That means we are sharing the same communication channel. Same way, for the same reason, we have to study computer networks, and it is very necessary for us to learn the computer network. We divide computers into so many names, like, or we can classify into so many categories, like personal computer, PC, laptops, servers. How do you identify a computer in a particular network? Now, suppose if there is a network and there is a computers, 3 computers, A, B and C. How do you identify a computer in this particular network? We need some procedure, some mechanism to do this, isn't it? But a machine identifies a particular computer in a network using IP address. For example, A could also be identified as 192.168.1.1. What is this? How are we going to get this? We will study this in the later sections. This is how a IP address will look like. Using this IP address, a machine or another computer in the another network can identify a computer in this network. Don't you think this is very difficult to remember for us as humans? That is why we use host names. That is why we use host names to identify a computer instead of a IP address. Host names could be fb.com, foo.com, like this example goes on. So, using these host names, we human beings remember a computer and we identify it uniquely. But these host names, how are they getting converted to IP address? So, that job is done by DNS server. DNS system will does that job. This also we are going to study in the later sections. not only computers are classified into so many categories, computer networks are also classified into so many categories based on few parameters like transmission medium network. What does it do? If you want to send some message to another network, that transmission medium we call it as, that is also one network based on the communication protocols, which kind of communication protocol, which kind of communication channel it is using, based on that also we are going to classify. Next could be traffic control mechanism. Now, if suppose there is a network and there are so many clients in a network, everyone will be sending the request, isn't it? That means a network has to hold all of these requests, whole of these requests we call it as a traffic in a network. How are we going to control this network or traffic? Means based on that mechanism which we are using, that based on that also we can divide the network. Computer networks provide so many applications. What are those? First, the major thing is social networking. Nowadays everyone are so busy in Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., isn't it? How are this going to happen? This means if me being a client, we are sending the message or we are posting some messages, that message is getting stored it in a Facebook or Instagram server, isn't it? How is it going to happen? Because of the common communication channel, that means they are in a particular network. Next is playing digital audio, digital video also, playing games online, instant messaging, which is very useful nowadays. For example, WhatsApp, you are using WhatsApp every day to send messages, isn't it? Not only that, there are so many messaging apps also like WeChat, and not only the online gaming could be PUBG, Candy Crush, where we are able to ask the life from our friends, isn't it? That means we are able to receive some message from our friends, we are able to send messages to our friend. That means all these are connected to a network. So, in various fields networks are very useful. Now, we have learnt how this computer networks is all about, what is it. Now, we will study what is about security. Why do we need to have a security in a computer networks? As you know, data is very important these days. Data could also be stolen by any of the hackers. Why are they interested in our data? Means if they steal our data, they will get to know what are our interests, they will get to study our behavior. If they get to know our behavior, what they will do? They will sell it to the companies who are interested in selling some products of our interest. That means if I am interested in a particular necklace, a gold necklace, and I have searched it in a Google or Instagram, I have searched it somewhere. If those people get our data, what they will do? Later they will send us the personalized ads, isn't it? That is how data has to be secured. It could not be stolen by hackers. Not only that, not only data stealing is one of the security issue. Other one is introducing virus. Now, suppose because of some hatred or because of fun, if a person wants to harm the computer of some other company, or if he wants to destroy some other company because of hatred, what they will do? He will introduce a virus into his network. Or you might have seen in the Gmail or in any personalized ads or in messages, you might have got like, you have won a bumper prize of 5 lakhs, please do click this link. If you click this link, the virus will get downloaded to your computer and all the resources in the computer will get crashed. So, these people might do it for fun or because of hatred also. Because of that, we are losing our resources, our data, our hardware components, we are losing the loss, isn't it? We are facing the loss. That is why hackers can also introduce viruses also, they can also cause denial of service. That means, me being a company owner, I want to fulfill the request of all the clients, but if the hacker is of hatred to our company, what he will do? He will try to jam my traffic he will try to jam the traffic of my network, and then what will do? If the traffic is overload, the performance obviously will come down, and the person who wants, the client or important client who wants to get a request fulfilled may not be fulfilled because of the denial of service. this can also be caused. That is why we need to have a proper policies to administer these issues, so that we can provide security, proper security to the computer networks where the important data will be flowing. Now, let us look at the course outcome of this subject. Course outcome. That means, when a student is studied this subject, what can we expect out of that student, what he will be learning from this subject, that we will see. If the student is studying this subject, the first outcome which we can expect is he will be able to learn all the principles of application layer protocols. That means, there will be protocols in each layer of the OSI model, and those protocols, how they will work and what basis on their working, all these information the student is able to convey. The second outcome which we can expect is, what are the services the transport layer is providing. Those can also be expected, and not only that, those services like TCP and UDP, what are the difference, how are they differing from each other, or how they work, all these can be expected from a particular student when he is learning. The third outcome is, he should be able to differentiate between different types of routers, internet protocols, routing algorithms which comes in the network layer, and he should be able to know what are the different algorithms, efficient algorithm which are used for end-to-end encryption. We use encryption for security purpose, how the security is used, how we have to deploy the security in a particular scenario, that also we can study in this subject. And not only that, the last outcome could be, he should be able to describe what is multimedia network, how the network is managed, all this we are able to study. When a student is learned perfectly this subject, he will be able to do all of these tasks. This subject has 5 modules. The very first module which we are going to study is about, module 1 is application layer. Module 1 is application layer. Under application layer, the first topic which we are going to study is principles of network application. That means, what is the main principle of a applications which are running on the application layer, and how are they networked, what are the transport layer services provided to the application layer, that and all we are going to study under this. The next topic which we are going to study is the web and the HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That means, every day we are browsing, we are using the internet to search any information, we are using so many browsers, isn't it? So, to run that browsers, we need a special protocol called HTTP, that also we are going to study. The next topic is File Transfer Protocol. That means, if you want to transfer a file to a remote host and we want to download a file from a remote host, we need a special kind of protocol called FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol. Next, we are going to study about electric mail in the internet. That means, how we are going to send an email from one host to the another host, and how this works and what protocol is used. For this, the protocol is used is SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. How this works, these things we will be studying. Next, we are going to study about DNS, Domain Name System, how the host names are getting converted to IP addresses and vice versa. These things we will also study. Next is peer-to-peer application. Instead of using client-server application, we can also use peer-to-peer application in a network. How we can deploy it, these things we can also study here. Next is socket programming, how to program using a TCP and a UDP, those things will also be studied, but especially instead of covering it in a theory subject, we will cover it in a lab program. The next module which we are going to study under this subject is transport layer. second module is transport layer. Under this module, we are going to study what are the services the transport layer is providing, how it is related to the network layer services, and how these services are useful. All this we are going to study under this in the first topic. Next topic which we are going to study is connectionless UDP. As we know, UDP is a connectionless, and how does it work? How are we able to send a message from one host to another host when it is a connectionless? All this we are going to study. Next topic which you are going to study is principles of reliable data transfer. That means when you are sending a message, we expect that the recipient has to receive that message properly. The network should be trustworthy, reliable. How this reliable data transfer is provided, these things we will be studying. Next is connection oriented TCP. We know TCP is a connection oriented, that means a dedicated connection will be established between the host to exchange messages. How the handshake is happening, how the connection is getting established, how messages are getting transferred, all this we will study under this. Next is principles of congestion control. Congestion is nothing but a traffic in a network, how much of requests, how much of data is flowing in a network, how we are able to control this traffic or congestion, what are the methods to control it, these things also we are going to study. Next is TCP congestion control. In the earlier topic, we are in generalized, we are talking, in here we are only talking about how we are able to control the traffic in TCP. The next module is network layer. Third module is network layer. The third module, the first topic which we will be studying is what's inside a router. That means when a router is used to switch the messages from one host to another host, how it is processing the input, how the output is getting generated, how it is switching the messages, how it is queuing the messages, all these things we will be studying under this. The next topic which we will be studying is internet protocol. This is one of the protocol which will be supported by the network layer. How does it work and how we are going to deploy it, how is it useful, we will be studying under this. Not only that, we will also study how the messages, what is the message format of the IP protocol. We will be studying famous two versions of this, that is IPv4 and IPv6, and what is the difference between them. These things we will also be studying under this. Next is we will be studying about routing algorithms. Routing algorithms is used to mainly control the traffic and also to send the message to the proper recipient. Here we are going to study two different algorithms, that is link state algorithm and distance vector algorithm. These things we will study in brief. Next we will study about routing in the internet, that means how the messages are transferred in a internet mode. What are the algorithms which you have used, what is it, intra or inter? Intra means within a network, inter means between two networks. What are the algorithms which you are using? These things we will be studying under this. Next is broadcast and multicast routing, that means how to broadcast a message, how to multicast. Broadcast means from many senders to many receivers, multicast means from one senders to many receivers. All this we will be studying under this module. The next module which we are going to study is network security. The fourth module is network security. The first topic which we are going to study under network security is overview of network security. What is security, why is it required, what are the different kinds of attacks we are going to study under this topic. Next topic which we are going to study is symmetric key cryptography. Under symmetric key cryptography, we are going to study several algorithms used for that symmetric key cryptography, and then we are going to study about public key cryptography and different algorithms which comes under that. These are the efficient algorithms which are used for the encryption and decryption. to disguise the data so that the original format is converted to another format, and then so that it cannot be understandable by the hacker who is going to steal our data, and then when the receiver, when he receives, he will decrypt it to the original format. For this we are going to use all of these efficient algorithms in different scenarios. The next module which we are going to study is multimedia networking. The fifth module is multimedia networking. The first topic which we are going to study is multimedia networking applications. That means, here we are going to study what are the properties of audio, properties of video, and the types of multimedia networks which are available to us. All this we are going to study under this topic. Next topic is streaming stored data. That means, how are we going to stream a video from so many connections using HTTP connection, using UDP connection, etc. The next topic is voice over IP. Under this we are going to study what are the limitations of this, or how can we remove the jitter from the receiver audio, and how to recover a packet loss. All this we are going to study. The next topic which we are going to study is protocols for real time conversational applications. Under this we are going to study two famous applications, RTP and SIP. So, with this we are, all the 5 modules are covered. This is the brief of all the modules which you are going to study under this subject. Thank you.